Good morning, everyone. Today, Thursday, April 23rd, what we are going to work on is collecting evidence for our body paragraphs. We're not going to actually write our paragraph today. We're just going to start collecting evidence. What do I want to put into my paragraph that comes directly from the story to help me prove that Squeaky is whatever three main traits you decided to focus on. So my anchor chart, how to write a literary essay about a character, that's exactly what we're working on, a 5-paragraph essay. We wrote the intro yesterday. I'll show you that in just a minute. But it's really important that today we have to reread bits of the story. We have to notice when the character speaks, when they use action, when they share inner thoughts. We need to look at what exactly is it that's going to support whatever trait you decided to focus on with Squeaky. We've already done the claim or the thesis statement. And then today we're focusing on finding the most compelling evidence that can support your claim, then add it to your body paragraphs, which will work on the actual writing of paragraphs tomorrow. So today we're going to quote some parts of the text, we can storytell parts, and we can summarize other parts. Okay, so that's how we're going to begin building the body paragraph. Yesterday, you should have shared with me your intro paragraph. So if you didn't, make sure you do that sometime today. That would be great. Your intro must include a hook, the title of the story along with the character that you are analyzing, a brief description of the 3 strongest traits of that character, and then your thesis statement. So your thesis statement is going to encompass that whole entire claim along with the 3 strongest traits. So I gave you 2 examples today. Yesterday I showed you the example for Billy Coleman from Where the Red Fern Grows. And then I did an example for Will in the story, My Side of the Story. So you can feel free to look at those and follow the same format. I've got the hook. I've announced who my character is and what story I'm going from. And then I briefly mentioned the 3 strongest traits that I believe he had. And then I use my claim, Billy is very determined. And then I add the rest of those traits as my thesis statement, which goes at the end of that paragraph. I will share this with you, so if you need to use it, that will be there for you. So today what I want to show you is, that I'm going to pull it up here quick. The template that you normally see every day that you have your reading log and journal entry. It's going to look a little different today because I'm going to have you collect your evidence and put your evidence right here. Okay, so I need to change this because I used this for my modeling. So I will change the name to Squeaky for you because you're only looking at Squeaky. But this is the template that you're going to use. Feel free to type right on it. And then you'll notice at the bottom, the normal reading log. If you have time to read, that would be awesome. And then your journal entry today, who is your favorite teacher from elementary school? Tell me why they were your favorite. And exactly what did they do to make school fun or make you feel special? Because our theme day today is throwback to your elementary school. So hopefully you're wearing something. It's Maggie Meyer's birthday. Hopefully you're wearing something that represents your elementary school. Okay, so getting back to how do we do this? I want to show you what I've started. Okay, so collecting evidence. So my thesis statement for My Side of the story that I'm modeling with, You're going to do Squeaky. I'm doing Will. Will is determined to get justice because he is self-motivated, turns inconsiderate, and becomes resourceful in the end. So I take the very first trait, self-motivated, and I'm going to stick it right here. Trait number 1 of Will, self-motivated, okay? Then, if I summarize the situation that surrounds that trait, I need to talk about what does it mean he was being self-motivated? What was he doing? And so I started typing. Oh, I don't want that. Will is sitting at his desk minding his own business. He was working on his signature when his brother Skip asked him if he wanted to shoot hoops. Will didn't want to play and continued to work on his penmanship. So if you remember that story, Will was minding his own business. So I summarized that situation right there. As I look back into the story, I needed to find a direct quote from the text, something that Will says or the author states. And so I found Will said, hey, what did you do that for? Okay, so there's my direct quote. I'm just going to leave it there because it's one piece of evidence that I want to use when I start typing my body paragraph. So then another thing that I can do is behavior or action, something that Will does. So I found Will attempted to take the tape out of his hair, but Skip had rubbed it so hard that it became a part of his scalp. So that right there, I'm talking about how he's self-motivated, and now I'm kind of getting the feeling that he is probably not happy, right? And that's what I want to do when I write my body paragraph tomorrow. But right now I'm just collecting evidence. Okay, so then if I move on, trait number 2, if I look back at my thesis statement, trait number 2 is inconsiderate. Okay, so I'm going to type inconsiderate right here. All right, and I don't want that to be bolded so that you can see it better or the difference. Okay, so now summarize the situation of Will being inconsiderate. So Will decides to seek justice. He has an understanding with his mother, and he knows she will be able to help, right? Okay, so brief summary. I know that that's just part of my body paragraph. I know that when I go in to write it, I'm going to want to embellish it a little bit more, or maybe talk a little bit more about that. A direct quote from the text, something Will says or the author states. Now, this is going to look a little different. This isn't going to be something that Will says, but it's what the author stated. So I'm going to write the author stated that Will, quote, for a moment, hesitated, wondering if she was sleeping, right? Remember that? I'm going to put an end quote, okay? I want a comma. But he was so sure of his case that he, now I'm going to quote, because this comes right from the text, threw open the door and burst into the room. Remember that part? Ooh. This definitely proves he was being inconsiderate, because I know in my house, you knock if there's a door closed, right? And so that's how you can quote the author. And then I'm going to finish up with a behavior, something Will does. And I have Will found his dad instead. Okay, that's an action. He thought about saying, so this is inner thinking now, the house was on fire or the car was stolen. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I know that when I write my body, I need to explain this further, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Okay. So then you have one more trait to do. I'm not going to do that one for you because of time, but I am going to share this with you so that you have something to go off of. All right. Just like Jillian said yesterday, she had to reread Raymond's Run because one, she didn't understand it the first time. Two, she needed to really figure out what traits of Squeaky she wanted to focus on. And so I thought that was fantastic. When we did our Google Meet yesterday, we were able to discuss that. And that's exactly what you guys need to do. Looking at this anchor chart, you need to reread bits of the story. If you didn't understand Squeaky and what she really wants at the very end of the story, it's really not to win the race. So if you said that, yeah, that was good and all, but that's not really what Squeaky wants in life. Go back, please, and reread. And if that means you have to change your thesis statement and change up your intro paragraph, that's what this is about. This is just a rough draft, and you are more than welcome to change your ideas as we go along. I will send you everything that you need, including a copy of Raymond's Run. If you need to listen to Raymond's Run, I will put those on my YouTube channel, Jacqueline Barteau. And I will be here at 9:20 and at 1:40 today for Google Meet. Just go to your waffle and then hit Meet, then select Join and type in Gold ELA. All right, people, I hope you have a great day. See if you can collect some evidence. Good luck.